All right. Hello, ladies, gentlemen, to all of our viewers, listeners, supporters, subscribers, to the Musician Training Center family. Jabbar Brown here with you from the musiciantrainingcenter.com. All right. So today I want to do something that I think is pretty cool. We're going to take maybe three or four basic chords. We're going to spice them up a little bit. We're just going to kind of expand those chords just a little. All right. So y'all come on in. Let's break this down and we'll have a little fun while we're at it. All right. So we're going to work this out in the key of A flat. All right. We're going to take four chords. Start basic. We're going to spice them up just a little bit. We're going to add a little something to these chords. Now, the song that I want to use is Something Has to Break, the collab between Kierra Sheard, Tasha Cobbs. So in the key of A flat, I'll start with these basic chords first, and then we'll try to expand, spice them up just a little bit. All right. So we'll start here. Those four chords. Let's do it again. I'm gonna speed it up a little bit. All right. Let's break these chords down and let's take it a step further. All right. So I'll play these chords slowly. And keep in mind, bass is your D flat, is your root there. Bass is E flat here. All right, and then the bass is F, so root, and then we're going to C. All right. Now, sometimes you may be wondering, probably for the some of the beginners, not sure about your intermediate, ladies and gentlemen, and advanced, ladies and gentlemen. But every now and then, I think all of us we're playing chords and it seems like we're stuck. Maybe that's you. Maybe that's not you. Maybe you've experienced that. Maybe you haven't. All right. So here's what we're going to do with these four chords. All right. I'm just going to add one note to start with. All right. And then we'll expand a little bit more. I'm going to stay right there on that C. All right. So let's do it again. And let's expand it a little bit more. While we're doing that, I want to change the sound, and I will explain just a little bit about the sound and something to consider, okay, when it comes to layering your sound. All right, let's do it again. So we're really focusing on this C. We're just kind of spicing things up just a tad bit. Sometimes all it takes is a little. All right, now let's do that again. I'm going to roll off this B flat to the C. All right, let's stay there. All right. And we'll cover that. All right, so let's do that again. And this is Something Has to Break. All right. I believe right now. All right. So as you can see, we're starting to kind of build. We're starting to spice things up, but the way we did it was just start by adding one note. If you've been following our lessons lately, I've really been emphasizing the importance of simplicity. All right. Sometimes less is more. Now, in this case, again, we started with one note, which was C. All right. What's so special about starting with C? Well, maybe nothing major, but it's important because it's the start of expansion. So what we're trying to do is expand. We're trying to figure something out. And instead of maybe trying to jump to something really big, like, a big chord, 13 or 11 or something like that, you can always just start with one note. Even if we didn't start up here and we decided that we're going to take that C and drop it down. So now it's more like a cluster chord. All right, some of us call. Okay, so now we're just kind of inverting. We're still focusing on that C. We got the C here, we have the C here. All right, just repositioning. All right, the other thing that we did and then we played this B flat major. But the next time around, what I wanted to do was take that a step further. So we're still playing a B flat major, but what I decided to do was condense that chord. So instead of playing the full B flat major all the way down, I started okay. We did it that way. So we started with the 2-finger chord. Left hand, we're playing that minor, and we're still on that C bass note as well. So we started with the 2-finger, B flat major inverted, 2-finger, B flat major inverted. Okay. All we're doing is just expanding, and we're keeping it simple by starting with one note, and then we can just kind of build from there. Now, what did I do here? Okay, I want to make sure that I land on a note, especially in the chord. I don't want to land on a note outside of the chord. Okay, so what I did was play some passing chords. Okay, I started with an inverted F minor. I rolled off of that E flat. All right, made sure I landed on that F minor. Nothing major, just a little tasteful. And then, of course, all right, so let's do one more thing. We'll take it one step further, and then we'll just kind of wrap it all up, okay? All right, now let's switch gears here. And then we'll go back. Actually, I didn't mean to play that chord, but all right. All right, last time. So here's the chord, F minor 9, and then we're back at that 4, okay? And the key of A flat. Now, this can actually be some standalone chords, not necessarily tied directly to that song. Something Has to Break by Kiera and Tasha Cobbs. But as an example, these chords definitely are intended to fit with that song, with that particular part of the song. Okay. But also, these chords can be standalone. So if you're in the key of A flat, a lot of times when we are trying to set that worship atmosphere, or we're trying to, if there's a worship moment, we want to land on the 4. A lot of times we'll land on that 4. It's a very popular thing to do. Okay, and to keep it simple, these same chords, you can do them. The difference would be no timing. So then you could, take your time going from your first chord to your second chord. And if you decide to add, or you decide that you want a tempo, maybe you're going to go somewhere with this, and this is just a platform, a foundation for you to build upon, then of course you can do that. All right. Now, again, this is, I believe this is really simple, but as I've said before, sometimes less is more. Simplicity is, in a lot of cases, key. All right, it's a key factor in building and establishing a foundation. All right. Again, all we did was we took 4 basic chords, and we started to build. This was our foundation. We had a 4-chord foundation. We started building by just adding a C. And we stayed right there at that C, and we replaced this E flat, by the way. All right. We replaced that, and we stayed right there with that C. All right, and went to this B flat major, well, C minor 9. Okay. And then we expanded just a little bit more by adding the F minor 9, as you can see. Okay. One last thing that I want to cover is the sound. Okay. This particular sound is called Meditate Piano. Take a little bit of time, and I don't want to be long with this, just a little something to consider. Okay. It's a layered piano, so you want to make sure that you take a moment to understand how this sound responds to your playing. There's a lot of reverb. Then you want to kind of adjust yourself to the sound and the way it responds. There's not a lot of reverb. Maybe it's really short, not a lot of delay. It's very short delay, short reverb. So it will enable you to make quick movements. Whatever you decide that you're going to do. All right. This has a little bit of delay. So I want to be intentional about how I move from chord to chord. And this is something I think is very important when you're playing with layered sounds. It's very important to pay attention to how the effect responds. Once you understand how this effect responds to your playing, then you want to begin to adjust. Okay? Simply put, if there's a lot of delay, as I said before, or a lot of reverb, then you probably don't want to use that sound if you're going to do a lot of quick movements on the piano or Rhodes, whatever you decide to use. Be careful about that, because you don't want your sounds to bleed and then it sounds messy, and you got your sound effects are kind of clashing with the different notes that you're playing. All right, so hopefully that makes sense. This is something that I try to consider, and I think is very important for us, especially those of you who may not be used to layering sounds. And so you might be trying to figure out how to play with these layered sounds. Maybe you heard somebody else play and they sounded good. So you're trying to understand, what did they do and how do they sound that good? All right, these are just things to kind of keep in mind. So again, we're just kind of on this simple thing. All right, and I hope that this has helped you out just a little bit. adding a little spice, just a little flavor to four basic chords. And we used Kiera and Tasha Cobb's Something Has to Break as a song example. Definitely use it for that song. But then also, as I said before, this could be used as standalone chords as well. And I want to continue to encourage you guys. Keep practicing hard. Practice smart, guys and ladies. All right? Keep God first. Stay humble. All right? And let's continue on this journey together. Let's continue to do the work and see the results. All right? So, ladies and gentlemen, y'all take care of yourselves. Be blessed. And until the next time, Jabbar Brown signing out.